Yo, welcome everyone back into Crypto's News. It's me, Omar Bam, aka Crypto, here taking a drive and talking about what is happening today that we need to know about. So it's another crab day in the markets where pretty much prices are flat. I read somewhere that the CEO of Bitcoin has decided that Bitcoin is going from an inflationary hedge, Uber ultrasound money, into a stable coin where it's pretty much stable, just south of 17,000, around 16,800 bucks. And you have Ethereum pretty much stable too at $1,218. Not too much going on there. And this is something that you saw back around the end of 2018 as well, where volatility was just flat. And this is something you see before huge moves again. Maybe even at the bottoms, it totally is possible we could resume to the upside. But for now, it's just like, waiting for something to happen with these prices. And you've seen that a lot of the euphoria has died away. There are less people paying attention to crypto Twitter and crypto Reddit than ever, at least that I can recall in recent history. And so this is just a sign that things are in the doldrums, way at the lows, and things have always bounced back for crypto. And so it's usually just a waiting game before volatility picks up and use cases and everything else. For now, you have one of the coins that's, I guess, notably down the most, which is not very much, but that's Solana. It's down to about $11.99, SQ Lana as it's known as. Solana has had the announcement that two of its biggest NFT projects are jumping ship over to Ethereum, at least to Polygon Matic, so a second layer over Ethereum, I guess you could call it. And that the two projects are called Utes, Y00TS, and DeGods. Those projects respectively, one of them is, I believe it's DeGods, that has the highest total amount of NFT sales over the last 24 hours at $1.5 million. It's a good amount, not a crazy amount, but still pretty good, I guess, in these low times. And then you have the other project at about $600,000 worth of volume. So two of the bigger use cases for Solana just kind of dying down, and that basically just taking away from more transaction volume taking place on Solana, which is now down to the number 18 spot on CoinGecko.com by market cap rankings. You have it just south of Shiba Inu, which is at the number 17 spot. And then over that, you have Tron. So something that was supposed to be the latest Ethereum killer has not panned out as such so far and has just been falling and falling. This has notably been happening a lot since the FTX drama. Suspected that this, oh my god, there's like a spider in here. Oh, dude, I'm not gonna show you guys the spider just in case. But it's pretty small. I mean, I can probably get it out of here. This is gonna look, oh, I think I got it. Oh man, I think I got it. Anyway, it was a small spider, but still, there are people who are arachnophobic, and I don't want to be showing that for you guys, but somehow it snuck into the car. It's super cold here in Texas. Oh man, I've heard about people's pipes even breaking down here, like Hudson Jameson, one of the Ethereum guys. He had one of the community guys, he has said that his pipes had exploded in Texas from the cold, and somehow miraculously on Christmas Day he was able to get a plumber. I guess the plumbers know that they should be on call for days like that when it gets so cold. Been having to continue to run water through pipes just so that they don't freeze over, and so on. But yeah, wild how cold it's gotten here. It feels like with wind chill it's been below zero at times. Today's not that bad during the day anyway. You guys probably know what I'm talking about if you're here, or there are even colder places, right? Like this polar vortex. First I had heard about that. Apparently there are these crazy winds over the poles, like the Arctic and the Antarctic. Really, it's only the one over the Arctic that affects us in the United States, but like it can like teeter away from the pole, and suddenly the temperature in the poles raises like crazy, so it gets hotter, and then Here in the US, it can drop extremely, or wherever that polar vortex moves over, in a matter of hours, dropping insane amounts to like negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is quite a bit below freezing, which is 32 degrees Fahrenheit for my Celsius friends out there. Anyway, so yeah, to get back into it, I guess some of the news right now, because it's not I find that really it's like there's just less news when there's less people paying attention as well. There's less coverage from the reporters, and there's just not as much happening because there are less eyes over crypto and less craziness. I actually like this time when things are a little bit quieter, and this is really when you get that the signal to noise ratio really good, and you can you can really find more important, crucial pieces of news beyond the hype that could help you do a little bit better. Stay alert, of course. Scams and phishers coming out like crazy right now. That has continued. What else? Let's see. Yeah, we already talked about Caroline Ellison and how she and Gary Wang have ratted out SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried. Apparently, if it had come out that they were ratting out SBF, and by the way, she completely admitted that they knew that they were doing wrong, that they were being fraudulent when they did their wrongdoing, as she cooperates in all of this. But anyway, if this had come out before Sam Bankman-Fried was extradited to the United States, that he might not have left, which is why all of this is leaking now. It's nice that he is getting preferential treatment, despite them saying that it is not the case. In the Bahamas, he was in the medical wing, which was not too bad. They even took care of his vegan preferences, we're finding out. So he received jam and toast for lunch, and he got steamed veggies for lunch and dinner. It sounds like he was getting dinner, because according to a terrible article that I just read on the New York Times, which is trying to make him look quite good to the local Bahamians, just came out today. The New York Times, again, just a total apologist for this guy. It looks like a lot of people don't even get dinner inside of this prison, which has 40% more prisoners, where Sam Bankman-Fried was previously. Now he's freed, of course, on bond, which he didn't even have to put up that money, as you guys already know, $250 million or so on. That's just in case he doesn't show up to court, or he does try to fly away without his passport somehow, or escape, and he's captured. Then his parents' house in Palo Alto is forfeit. I don't know how it would be worth $250 million unless he lives in some sort of crazy castle, right? But anyway, so it seems to me like some sort of preferential treatment when he was in the medical wing, where it looks like that prison in the Bahamas is quite bad again, quite overflowed. It talks about how the usual breakfast was basically grits and sardines into a moldy cup, and they usually didn't even get dinner, and there were all sorts of fights all the time. So he managed to evade, I guess, some of that stuff by being with 5 other prisoners in their own area in the medical wing. Now, I mean, people have said prison has done a great thing for him. He cleaned up somewhat. He's wearing a suit now. It's making it look good to them. But I guess he didn't want to stay there, which is why he was willing to be extradited, I would say, even more to the United States. And then guess what? Right afterwards, he basically got freed, where he's walking around completely fine, while you have that old Tornado Cash developer, a developer who's still waiting sentencing in jail. I don't even know that we've heard about the exact crimes that he's charged for just yet, which is quite insane. It's beyond insane, again, as I've just continued to talk about the injustice of all of this debacle that's continued to play out. Anyway, the other bit of news, and by the way, that article is just so bad, by the way, because it just goes into how the Bahamians, they all love Sam Bankman-Fried, you know, how he was such a charitable person, even though it was stolen money. He was such a charitable person to organizations. It talks about how the crypto people in the Bahamas tip like $100 when they get their Burger King delivered through DoorDash. It talks about You know what? Though crypto is what's bad after everything that's happened here with FTX, right? Not FTX itself, right? Crypto. Like, it's just such a weird article if you watch it yourself, which interviews different locals and how they thought he was just a great upstanding guy. And it's ridiculous that he's really serving prison time like this when they look at their local crimes with the amount of gangs out there, and this white collar crime is like nothing. It sounds like I'm being like jokeful, right? But this is an actual article that I read today that is there on the New York Times, being so apologetic toward him and sympathetic really toward Sam Bankman-Fried, trying to make his character look good. I mean, like, I don't understand what the game is here right now. Where everyone is basically knows that FTX was a fraud and he was a giant fraud and a con man who was taking money from people who have become suicidal, right, because of this. It's not like the money didn't matter to a lot of people who lost funds here. It affected people very deeply who had life savings due to what happened here. It's not like some simple sort of matter, but that's how they're playing it off, like he's such a good guy, and this just, you know, continuing to do the thing where he just didn't know how to manage a company perhaps, and he was inept, kind of playing that kind of role. Ridiculous. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. And as far as other news, the IRS has basically said that they're going to delay. They were supposed to be doing this $600 reporting rules for any transactions that were settled through a third party over $600. So imagine like accepting money through Venmo or through PayPal. Anything over $600 would be reportable and require forms. That was causing concern for a lot of people who run small businesses. And for individuals who use these kinds of services. That is now being delayed, and it's not going to be taking place. So I guess that's a bit of good news if that impacts you as well. And it could have impacted crypto, I suppose, somewhat. Anyway, we'll leave it there. I hope you guys are having a great start to the week. Take care. Much love, and stay